to keep the chat on the side. So to do that, I need to open. So okay, I hope
everyone.
Yeah, audio works. As usual, say nice things in the chat. Ask me questions. And today I prepared some slides actually. So okay. Anyway, so I want to wait for about 5 minutes before starting because I suppose that I think that some people may be a bit late due to YouTube lag, for example. Okay, so yeah, says it's one slide, event live. Okay. Anyway, so first of all, here's the slide. Where is my mouse cursor? This is, oh, here is it. So yeah, hi Gökberg. So I'm going to wait for a couple of moments. Basically, the code is available on GitHub. You can start it if you want. The demo is here. If you want to test the demo, you can go to this IP address, type it in your URL and test it. So I'm going to start with showing you what's going on. So for example, you can type Python and get results. You can type multiple keywords and get results. The search engine ranks them simply by points. There is also snippets, as you can see. I don't know, we can try something more interesting like learning of P. So it's not perfect, it's far from being perfect, but it works and it's simple. So, okay. As usual, ask me questions in chat. Hi, Thomas. So, you can play with the demo. What else? Yeah, so let me try. By the way, how long have I been waiting? Okay, for only a couple of minutes. Let's wait 3 more minutes. Anyway, if anyone can't, if you can't see me talking. So I'm waiting for a couple of more minutes because I want to wait for other people to join before starting the talk. So I had this demo running so I'm just talking about random stuff for a couple of minutes. I had this demo running for a couple of weeks and I found some really interesting requests. So I'm going to show you. This is the demo that you can find on, like I mentioned, like here. By the way, I'm going to post it in chat, so it's going to be more convenient. Just type it into your browser. So for example, this is somewhat weird request. Then there are people that were trying to hack me. So they were trying to execute some script and run it and, well, probably do some evil things. I think they weren't able to accomplish this, although I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I should worry. For example, why it says, oh, okay, it's user agent. I suppose they were trying to exploit that bash vulnerability. I don't think they were able to exploit it because it's not Apache. So it's GUnit and it doesn't run bash. What else? What's more interesting? So people were trying to exploit that bash vulnerability. Some CGI bin test CGI. I don't know what's that. Probably. So yeah, some PHP and something escape. I wonder if they were trying to find some sort of vulnerability. I don't know what vulnerability. Looks like Googlebot visited there. That's nice. Thanks, Googlebot. What else? Minor HTML. Again, no idea why they were trying to request that. There are more Googlebot. Some CGI scripts. So yeah, I'm always keeping chat on the side. So yeah, so I was a bit surprised to see all sorts of weird queries there. Anyway, if people are watching, looks like it's time to start because I promised that I'm going to start in after 5 minutes. So I prepared some nice slides for you. I wonder how can I. Very. What the hell? What's what? Okay, where are they? Yes. So now I have no idea how to use them and how to keep chat on the side simultaneously. What should I do? I don't know. Anyway, you actually have no idea what to do. I haven't thought about this. Oh, okay. I'm going to try to set up some custom slideshow or whatever. Type default window auto. Okay, this work. Yes, I think I was able to, okay, let's close that. Okay, okay, looks like I can have chat open on the side. Yes, that's really nice. So, so basically this talk is an experiment. I never tried to participate in an online conference before. So ask me questions in chat. Basically, if you want to ask me something, just ask me because I like getting messages in chat. I like answering the questions. And it would be better if you ask me questions as I go because well, that would be a lot more convenient for me. And I think the right slide. Can I close it? I don't know. It doesn't seem like I can close it further. Anyway, so it would be a lot better if you ask questions in the middle of the presentation. So the code is available on GitHub, and you can play with the demo, and I posted it there. Okay, let's start. Already. So who am I? So my name is Alexander Putilin. I worked in Yandex for 5 years. Oh, sorry, for 4 years. And if you don't know what Yandex is, I'm going to show you. It's a Russian search engine. It's very, it's very popular in Russia. It has, the majority of market share. Basically, it's more popular than Google. And I worked on a certain part of web search engines. So if I type here something, it's very likely that some of my code will be executed. Anyway, well, in big companies, you work on a kind of small part of the code, and I wanted to build a small but functional search engine. Okay, yeah. So, and I wanted to code a small but functional search engine because I sort of wanted, first of all, I wanted to share my knowledge with you. And the second reason is that I sort of wanted to brush up on the parts of the search engine that I don't know really well. So my initial goal was built by a small but functional. Sorry. Sorry. my initial goal was build by small but fun search engine and build it for just one subreddit. And well, I didn't want to index the whole internet because it's really difficult. It's very difficult to replicate Yandex or Google or Bing, but it's not that hard to build something basic, something small, based on the same principles. So I started building this. I think in the late November. I wasn't trying to build it as fast as possible, and I think I live streamed like 99% of the development. So if you want to see how I was building it, you can go on my channel and like click on videos and find it. So I achieved that goal not so long ago. So now there is a demo. You can play with it. So can search for stuff. I indexed the whole subreddit. It's reasonably fast. There are some performance issues that I need to fix, but it works. Anyway, so my next goal is more ambitious. I'm trying to beat built-in Reddit search engine just for for one subreddit or maybe for one certain type of queries. Maybe I don't know. Basically, I just want to beat it in certain cases. I think it's going to be a difficult challenge, but it's going to be a fun one. Even if I don't beat Reddit search engine, I'm going to have some fun. And well, today I want to talk about how my search engine is organized. Some parts about. I want to talk a bit about architecture and a bit about possible future. Okay, so the first thing that is necessary to be done is downloading the whole subreddit. Since I wanted to index the whole subreddit, but I needed to download one. And as you probably know, Reddit has a great API. It's really amazing. And then there is a PIRO, which is short for Python Reddit API Europa. It's an amazing library for using Reddit API with Python. It's really very convenient. It has very good documentation, and I enjoyed using this library. I enjoy using it a lot, so I highly recommend it. But downloading a whole subreddit is more tricky than you think. Reddit has some limitations in its API. The first one is that you need to make no more than 30 queries per minute. So you can make. No, someone. What's going on? Okay, it's a bot. I'm going to check if my chat is stuck. Sometimes I'm so worried that chat is stuck. Anyway, if it's stuck, message me. Okay, so there are other limitations, and the most important one that Reddit doesn't give you more than 1,000 posts, which kind of sucked because I wanted to download the whole subreddit. It took me a while to figure out how to download it, and it turns out that there is a solution. The solution is this. I'm talking about it, so if you have a similar task, you know how to solve it. I'm also going to give you a link so you can read it. I'm going to make the slides available later. So basically, the idea is you can use something called cloud search syntax, and what you can do is just specify a range of timestamps. So you can tell Reddit, please give me posts between January 1st and January 5th, and like that you can give and like this you can get all posts within some timestamp range. So there is some problem that you get only 25 results, but you can make the timestamp range small enough. You can make it like 1 hour, and if you do this, you will able to download all posts in subreddit, like the subreddit that I was scrolling is R-Learn Programming. So I was able to download all the posts that, within 1 day. So it was pretty fast, given the limitations of Reddit API. Like I mentioned, you can't do more than 30 API calls per minute. So then there is another problem with downloading comments. Unfortunately, I haven't solved it yet. I want to download comments now, but it's even more tricky than downloading all posts. I think there is a way to use cloud search syntax, just like with posts, but I'm not exactly sure. So I was able to download all posts, but not comments. Downloading all comments is possible, but so basically you can tell Reddit, give me all comments for this post. But then you can tell it again, give me all comments for that post. And slowly you can get what you need. But it's going to be very, very slow. So I need a fast way to download all the comments. And I'm not sure how to achieve it. If you have some ideas, let me know. I think there is some variation of cloud search syntax that allows you to do this. So then after you download it, so then after all posts are downloaded, it is necessary to process them. You need to parse them. You need to, do some language processing, and so parsing is done using an LTK. Most stuff comes from an LTK because I didn't want to deal with it. So, for example, stemming is done using parterre stemmer, and there is some stop word removal also done using an LTK. So, what's stemming? In search engines, it may. So when you are calling a search engine, it may make sense to, find. So when user asks, when the user queries search engine, and for example makes a query, nice pictures of cats, it may make perfect sense to find documents that doesn't contain the form cats, but do contain the form cat. So it may, instead of doing, instead of comparing full words, it may make sense to compare certain parts of it, certain basic root parts of them, and this is what you can do with stemming. So, for example, here are some examples of stemming. And I think that the parterre stemmer is like one of the oldest, and maybe it works fairly well. There is some trade-off with using stemming because, for example, programming and program are not exactly the same word. Sometimes it may be good to find to match sometimes it may be good to match documents containing the word programming with query program, but I think it's not always the best idea. So there is some trade-off with using stemming. Then after you downloaded documents, after you processed them, you need to index them. And in search engines, there are two kind of main structures: forward index and inverted index. In my search engine, they are implemented using DBM. And the way to look at DBM is to imagine a Python dict. Like, Python dict, it has keys, it has values, and it's stored into memory. So imagine a dict, a Python dictionary that isn't stored in memory. Instead of that, it's stored on disk, and that's what DBM is. There are some limitations compared to normal Python dictionaries, but essentially DBM is on disk dictionaries. I think I'm actually using Shelves model that provides some even nicer interface, but Shelves model is built on top of DBM. So forward index is very simple structure. Basically, its keys are documents IDs, some sort of IDs, and values are just document text. So it's really simple, no rocket science here. And inverted index is a lot more interesting data structure. So you probably saw this in books, right? So, for example, I don't know. So, when you want to find something in a textbook, you don't scan through it. You don't read every page. Instead of that, you go to index. You check your word. Well, of course, there are not there are only important words like scientific terms, for example. Anyway, so you go there, you find the necessary page, and you open the page. So what you are doing is very similar to what search engines do, because so as you can guess, you can find that a lot more faster. And search engines, there is a very similar process. Basically, you take documents, you split them into words, you remove the common words because they aren't very because they don't add meaning and they kind of clutter your inverted index. And I don't know, damn it, stop this. Okay, so where is my mouse cursor? Okay, I lost my mouse cursor. So sorry. I'm going to launch this. Okay, something is weird. Okay, let's activate it. Stop this. Oops, sorry. Okay, I can't really use my mouse. Okay, sorry for that. So you take documents, you split them into individual words. You remove the most common words called top words because they don't add much new information and they clutter the index. And then you have this dictionary. Its keys are words, but its values are document IDs. And these document IDs are IDs of documents that contain that word. So, for example, the word best is contained by documents 2. The word blue is contained by documents 1 and 3, and so on. The word sky is contained by documents 2 and 3, and so on. And as you can guess, when user queries something like bright blue sky, you can retrieve all documents that contains words blue, bright, and sky very efficiently. So you don't need to scan the whole collection. You just get all the documents that are most likely relevant to the query. So Now about snippets. My search engine called Snippets, and snippets are these short annotations, and so as you can see, they are sometimes short. I want to show you some interesting query. I don't know. What should I query? Okay, they aren't very interesting. Anyway, so the algorithm key is very simple. It finds the smallest window in document that contain all words in query. And if it can't find all words of in query, sorry, all words of in query, sorry, damn it, how do I put it into words? So it's kind of the document, and it checks and it searches for words contained in query, and it tries to find the smallest part of document that contains all the words of query. And if it's not possible, it tries to find the shortest part of the document that contains the biggest subset of query words. And then it works really simple. There is some limit to the length of a snippet. So let's say the limit is like 40 words, and I think it's close to the truth. Yeah, I think the limit is either 30 or 40. So let's say 40. And if the snippet is too long, like it's if the window is too long, it just cuts out the middle part. So I think I want to show you that. So for example, here it found some word C++ here, found some word program here, and here was the part of the document, but this was too long, so it cut out the middle part. It's very basic algorithm. There are much more interesting, much more complicated algorithms, but I wanted to call something that is simple. What else? Yeah, so snippets are really simple. I implemented 2 different ranking algorithms. So right now it ranks simply by points. So if you go here, you can click on links. And as you can see, this link has a lot of points. The second one has slightly less points, and so it ranks simply by points. I also tried to implement in BM25. Okay, it's a bot again. Right? Okay. Oh no, it's Nate. Okay, now I'm going to talk to check this after the talk. And another algorithm is called BM25. And BM25 is a very old ranking method. It was invented in the 80s. And I'm not going to explain it. It has somewhat complicated formula. No, I'm not going to show you it. But I want to keep it at ELI5 level. So why it turned out to be bad for Reddit? It favors documents where query words occur more frequently. So and what it means is basically it's just short documents that contain lots of the same word get ranked more highly and considered more relevant. So, for example, I actually didn't want to find to get some relevant example to some real world example, but when I implement, because I just removed some parts of the support of BM25, so I kind of added a functional example. So, for example, if you search for Python and if you rank the results using BM25, you get a lot of very basic questions like, so it may be titled like Python. I'm learning Python, and what's the best way to learn Python? So the word Python occurs there like 3 times, and there may be a lot more longer documents, a lot more relevant. Like, for example, something talking about how he learned Python, but it's long, and the word Python occurs there like twice, and it will get ranked a lot, lower. And yeah, it's actually very it's very SEO cheatable. That's true. It's not. The algorithm was invented in 80s, so as you can guess, there wasn't. There wasn't. The internet wasn't very popular, and I suppose that it was used for something like scientific articles. So with scientific articles, this makes perfect sense. So, for example, if you're searching for squirrel, and some scientific articles mentions the word squirrel a lot more often than another one, then it probably means that the first one is more relevant, right? But with Reddit, this is not the case. Also, it's bad. Yeah, it's SEO cheatable, but since I am since I'm searching only one subreddit, that's not a big deal. But that's true. It's actually, people try to game and people try to cheat and game search results all the time, So search engines employ people that invent countermeasures, and yeah. So like I mentioned, now I want to beat Reddit's built-in search engine. I actually need some inspiration, and Gutenberg gave me quite a bit of it. If you have some ideas where Reddit search sucks, let me know about them. I really want to hear this. So if you have some ideas on what I could do, so like, for example, maybe you have some problem searching for most recent posts, like you saw the post 1 hour ago and now you can't find it. So send me use cases and maybe queries. It will be greatly appreciated. And I have some some ideas on how to do this. I listed the major ones. There are some other ideas, but these 3 are major ones. So, for example, I could try BM25 in titles. I suspect that if someone mentions Python in title, then it's much more likely that this document is relevant to the query Python. Another idea is PageRank, and I'm going to explain what's PageRank shortly. And another idea is machine learning. So either handcrafting some sort of decision tree, building a ranking formula by hand, or hand preparing a bunch of training test sets, which both options sound like they will require a lot of manual labor. Anyway, what's PageRank? And I suspect that PageRank may not be very good here. And PageRank was invented by Google. It's often said that it was like, the key idea in Google, and well, I don't know how true is that, but Google definitely used PageRank when it was a new search engine in its early days. And the idea of PageRank is this: so not all pages are created equal, right? Some pages are a lot more popular than others, and some pages are a lot better than others. And how are they different? Well, pages have links. Pages link to each other, and if you know and so let's say we have some very good page, very important page, and it links and it has a link to another page. So let's say here we have a page B, and let's say B is very, very important, and it has a link to C. And judging by that, we can conclude that maybe the link, the page C is also good, because the page B is good. It links to C, and well, probably it's good. And for example, look at the page E, right? It links to F, and page E is considerably less important than B. So E links to F, and it sort of passes its importance to F, but well, obviously F gets a lot less importance from E than C from B. Anyway, I hope this makes sense. There is So, how to implement PageRank is a very interesting topic. I'm not going to touch it. I just wanted to explain the kind of idea behind PageRank. And basically, the idea is that pages have some this importance. It's actually a probability, but I won't go into details. So pages has this importance. They can pass this importance to other pages when they link. To them, and other pages can get this importance. There is an iterative algorithm of calculating PageRank, but again, I'm not going to go into that much details. So machine learning, and machine learning is a very, very interesting topic. The main problem here is, well, I have to do lots and lots of manual work because there are no training and test sets. Well, I'm not a search engine, so I can't employ a few dozens of people and tell them, you know what, here is my search engine, please rate the results. So I can use machine learning and extrapolate from your data. Gathering such data is a very laborious task. So maybe I will try that. Maybe I will try taking 100 queries and manually rating the results. Doing something like this. I'm not sure. It sounds like my very main, like a lot of manual work. So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, so I guess that's the end of the talk. I just wanted to briefly talk about my search engine. I hope that you enjoyed it. Anyway, so ask me questions in chat, and I will be happy to answer them. I like when you ask me questions. Anyway, so yeah. By the way, PageRank is also very SEO cheatable. Well, because as you can see, if links pass some part of their importance, this means that if you buy links to your page, you can get the parts of this importance. And people did this. Maybe people still do this. I'm not sure if Google still uses PageRank. But a few years ago, these link farms were very popular. People used to purchase, to buy lots of links to their websites, so their websites get ranked higher. And actually, combating SEO is a very interesting topic. There are different variations of PageRank that try to combat this problem with SEO. When somebody does a search, you can redirect them to a page on your site that redirect them to the actual URL. Yeah, actually that's true. What are Google bombs? By the way, maybe I could cheat and use Google search results as a first approximation. But yeah, I agree with Gökberg. The problem here is I don't have many users in my search engine. And it's likely that I won't have a lot of users unless the results are good enough. So I need to some method of links are not very good method of currently. I heard that Google stopped using PageRank. They may use other link algorithms, but well, there is some sort of shift from link graphs to some other methods. So yeah, that's actually a very interesting thing. I need to read about it. How they favor, how do they detect facts is very interesting topic. I need to look at that. Yeah, so I could capture user behavior, but that's going to be difficult. So yeah, let's wait for more. Let's wait for more questions. For your information, I'm having trouble with God likes me stream, been relying for a few minutes. Important, fine. Okay. So okay. So I'm going to wait for a few minutes. Let's discuss some stuff. That's a really nice way to explain it. I like it. That's a cool idea. I actually never heard about Google Bombs before. I didn't realize that this is a thing. I knew that people put. That's cool. Oh yeah, that's right. Have you heard about our so-called jerk hijacking Google search results? I actually want to find this. So basically, in our so-called jerk, people created this post, gaming console. If you load this up, it will show up on Google Images when people search gaming console, Xbox One or PlayStation. And there is a potato, and people actually managed to get that into search results. So for a while, when you search for, if you search for gaming console, you got this, and that's true. I saw it myself. Like, are you ready? fact with Google search results. That's kind of nice. So you were thinking about cloud instances to pull comments. No, I meant that it's not cloud instances. It's called cloud source syntax. It's a trick to get. It's a trick to make Reddit give you all the posts. So you can say Reddit sort of. So with normal API calls, you can do this. You can say Reddit, give me last posts, and Reddit gives you 1,000 of posts, not more. With cloud source syntax, you can do this. Reddit, give me all posts between January 1st and January 2nd, and Reddit gives you like 20 posts between these 2 days, and that's why you can do this. I think you can do the same thing for comments, and you can, and that way you can get all the comments faster. Why did you search consoles? I didn't search consoles. I just saw posts on Reddit about people, fucking with Google results. So RCircle created this post, and Reddit sometimes, and Google sometimes do this. So it says in the news. So Google considers Reddit a legitimate source of news, and look at what's happened. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't. Sorry, I didn't explain it more clearly originally. Okay, so. So yeah, let's wait for more questions. Meanwhile, I'm going to check the conference page. Okay, next, let's watch Thomas. Talk by Thomas. So there aren't. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I love first word anarchists. It's one of my favorite subreddits. So So I'm waiting for a couple of more minutes, and I really want to watch this talk by Thomas. I hope I pronounce your name correctly, because I have no idea how to pronounce it. Maybe it should be pronounced as Thomas. I don't know. Sorry for that. Anyway, I want to watch this talk, so be quick with your questions. Okay, waiting for a minute. Okay, bye. I'm still waiting for questions, because we have about 5 minutes before Thomas begins his talk. Okay, so go to this URL and let's watch other talks. 9 people watching. Like it was 5 people watching just 5 minutes before. Okay, people, I'm ending this talk. Let's go and watch a talk by Thomas. So look at this URL and type it into your browser. And thank you very much for watching my talk. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Bye.